So as I mentioned, the Prime Minister is on a massive outreach program in Jammu and Kashmir, where BJP was in power till a few months ago in partnership with the PDP. Now remember, earlier in Jammu, the Prime Minister reiterated the BJP's commitment to rehabilitating Kashmiri Pandits. This has been a sore spot. And as I mentioned, because the central government has been in power for almost 5 years now, they were in power in Jammu and Kashmir for 3 years. Many from the Kashmiri Pandit community also feel that the BJP hasn't done enough. Let's go across to my colleague Tejinder to get more perspective on this. So the Prime Minister earlier today, Tejinder, reiterating that they want Kashmiri Pandits to be rehabilitated. It hasn't really happened, and many from the community feel not much has moved on it. But at least the BJP as a party and the Prime Minister as a leader on record putting forward that commitment.
Shivani, you rightly said, and Prime Minister, while making it clear that he wants to see the rehabilitation of the Kashmiri Pandits back to the Kashmir Valley from where they had to migrate after this armed insurgency, Pakistani-backed armed insurgency broke out in Kashmir. Prime Minister also made it clear that he wants to see a dignified and safe return of the Kashmiri Pandits. So he said that it was a blot for the entire nation, that these people, they had to migrate within their own country and they are living a life of a refugee for the past 3 decades. He also made it sure that his government is keen to provide jobs to those Kashmiri Pandit youths who want to return to the Kashmir Valley under the Prime Minister employment package, which he had also announced. He also made it sure that some people have already been given jobs. He also made it sure that more such avenues would be provided to the Kashmiri Pandit. So, when Prime Minister was speaking about the Kashmiri Pandits, we could see his seriousness towards this issue, because he was referring it as time and again, he was referring it as a blot that these people, they had to suffer and they had to migrate and they are living a life of refugee within their
Tejinder, I
country.
remember that you spoke exclusively to Jammu and Kashmir governor a few days ago also, and you talked about, the long pending rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits with him. And he had put the onus on local parties as well to create the appropriate atmosphere on the ground for the safe return of Pandits.
Yes, Shivani, you rightly said, even just a few days ago when I interviewed the Jammu and Kashmir Governor S.P. Malik, when I asked him this pertinent question about the rehabilitation of the Kashmiri Pandits, because this is a blot for every Indian, because for the past more than 30 years, more than 7 lakh Kashmiri Pandits, they are living a life of refugee. They are living in miserable conditions. They had to face all sort of problems when they migrated from the Kashmir Valley. The governor also said that the mainstream Kashmiri politicians, they have to come together and they have to show the Kashmiri Pandit community that they are welcome. A consensus has to be built, because Shivani, if you remember that...
So is that really the problem? The fact that mainstream political parties in Jammu and Kashmir are actually doing more to obstruct the return than facilitate it. Let's take that question to Lalit Ambadar, Kashmiri activist. Lalit, the Prime Minister today is once again assuring Kashmiri Pandits that as far as he and his party are concerned, they're committed to Kashmiri Pandits returning to their home. How do you look at this message and this promise by the Prime Minister?
Listen, it's so great of Narendra Modi finally having spoken about Kashmiri Pandits' return. We're disappointed because 4 years of almost silence and the compromise they made in Mehbooba Mufti's PDP. But it's half-hearted, because no amount of such flowery talks will reverse Kashmiri Hindus' genocide. We have a political agenda. We will not be returning to the same neighborhood from where we were evicted out, right? So what we are looking forward to, union territory where we can, Kashmir union territory, where we can wear Indianness on our chest. We don't want to be living in camps. We don't want to be living under the security, local security. We want to live as West Indians in the rest of India. We want to wear Indian tribe flag on our chest there in Kashmir. And that can be assured only when New Delhi is made responsible for our security in Kashmir. And that's the only way we want to go back to our roots and to resurrect our lives there as well as Indianness in Kashmir. So merely speaking about returning to Kashmir is not enough. You have to set...
No, you're absolutely right, Lalit. The return cannot happen under current circumstances. And it seems the local factors there and local mainstream parties there are actually not helping the situation. It has to be a safe return whenever the return happens, and it of course is already too late. The Prime Minister there earlier today, though, at least reassuring Kashmiri Pandits that they are with them and they will continue to look for the rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits.